Hi everyone, it's Tara Maxwell from TaraMaxwell.com.
And AJ Maxwell.
Okay, we just had a little break there. We wanted to talk about, we just got finished with a surf session, and we wanted to talk about really how you're designed to live and flow. I'm going to give a moment for some of you guys to pop on, and we're just back, you know, usually we're like in the beach, but I wanted to show you this, like this is the trail that we have here at Playa Guiones. I just had an awesome, amazing surf session today with AJ's board, because mine's still in the shop, and I really was thinking a lot about the difference between those of us that are, if you're in resistance and if you're living in flow. So I was feeling so proud of myself because I have AJ's board, and it's like a 9.6, super heavy, and it goes really fast. And I was way far back in the lineup, and I paddled really hard, so hard, and I almost didn't catch the wave, but I finally caught it. And I caught this wave, and I came back, and I was feeling so proud of myself. I'll let AJ catch up. Huffing and puffing, sitting back on my board. And I looked over, and I saw this really good surfer named Alfredo. He's a surf coach here at Playa Guiones. And I saw him just sitting on his board, and he saw a wave, and he just turned one paddle, and he caught the wave. So here I was feeling, so proud of myself because, like, I wouldn't say struggle, it's probably a hard language to use, but I was feeling so proud of myself because, oh, I caught this wave. I exerted all this energy, and here's this, a surfer is so much better than me that just effortlessly got in position and took the wave. And it just reminded me of a lot of entrepreneurs, because if you look at people that are really successful and they'll take on new projects, they'll take an opportunity and they'll just seize it. They'll see the abundance, they'll implement it, they'll get support, find partners, and they take that vision and they bring it into physical reality. And yet, then there's others, and maybe some of you can relate, that have so much resistance, that have an idea and then spend all this time thinking about it and praying about it and meditating about it. And it really is just resistance. And so I wanted to share the message that you're designed to live in flow. You're designed to live in flow. It's in your spiritual DNA. And the reason resistance doesn't feel good, the reason we have anxiety, and maybe some of you can relate to this, or you stay up and you're like thinking about all this stuff and you're feeling stress, it's because you're not wired that. It doesn't feel good to you. You're not meant to be in that state. Look at little children and see how they're like, let's build a sandcastle. They don't sit there thinking, oh, can I build a sandcastle? What if it doesn't work? What if someone ruins it? Is there enough sand? Do I have enough money to create the sandcastle? If they have an idea to create a sandcastle and they're at the beach, because we'll show you, we're over here at Playa Guiones, they have an idea and they do it. They go for it because they're not in their ego. And we've been told to embody the spirit of little children. So did you want to share something? I know
well, I love
about that.
That just reminds me of Milena. You know, one morning she had the idea to do a lemonade stand. And 3 hours later, she was down here on the beach with her lemonade and our housekeeper. She was selling lemonade for the monkeys. And
yeah,
I think that flow, you know, I think we lose it along the way. We get into our heads and into these different systems and people that love us and support us sometimes, you know, try to protect us from things or concerns, their issues, their triggers. And so it holds us back. It pushes things down inside that should just flow just easily, like nature. You know, nature is a powerful teacher around flow and symmetry and how easy it can be.
So easy. You take a seed, you plant it in the ground, you water it, you give it sun, and if the seed is in good condition, it grows into a plant or a tree. And so it's so much like I think I see so many, because we talk a lot, we share a lot about how to manifest and how to take your dream and bring it into physical reality. And one of the things that I see that hurts so many of you, it's your mind, it's those thoughts. You think those thoughts are your friend. You think, and you actually, and I want to hear from you, because I don't, type below who's watching this. I want to see who's on, and where you're listening, where you're watching this from, because there's so many of you that you think that those thoughts you identify, you think that's who you are, and it's not. It's just the ego, and so that's the power of being around others that have committed to live in higher self. At least I mean, we're human, but to have committed to surrender and to say, okay, not my will, the will of the divine. It's not my will, and I choose to surrender. And so, and it's something that we do, certainly not perfectly, but on a moment-to-moment basis. And so, we just wanted to share this. Oh my gosh, there's some beautiful, I don't know if you guys can see the waves out here. They're not super huge, but really glassy, super fun. So that's the message we have to do, is to remind you that you're designed to live in flow. And you know that you're in flow when you see the synchronicities around you, when you're feeling bliss, when you have an idea and you're feeling inspired, and you're following that idea of following your highest excitement. And you know you're not in flow is when you don't feel good, and when you're in your head and you're thinking about things a lot. One of the things that I see a lot around just observing so many, whether it's clients or I've talked to thousands of people, and so that's my genius, is observing those patterns and identifying and seeing what those blocks are so that you release them. And one of the things I see that paralyzes so many entrepreneurs is you make a decision and then you question it after. And so if you're doing that, stop it. Stop it, because it's an energy leak. If you have an idea and it's your highest excitement and you're stepping into it, then commit. You decide and commit. This is an essential step to manifesting freedom. And until you get it, you won't be on that path to manifesting freedom. We waste so much energy when we decide something and then we start, I mean, we did this actually, I mean, we still do this. It's not that we're immune from it. Yeah. I think the difference is that I see the pattern and then I stop it. I'm like, okay, I'm doing this again, energy leak, and then correct it. So
I think the further we get away from our hearts,
hey, Chuck.
The further we get away from our hearts and in our heads, you know, the more we're held back. I mean, when we were looking at moving here in October of 14, we were here and we had this vibe and we knew this is our next move. And it was the first move that we had actually said, we just want to move here because we love it. And then we got home, and then all of the facts of life started to emerge. And I remember Tara sending the school down here a note saying, hey, we're thinking about coming in January, maybe June. And they came back and said, well, we're full in January, but maybe in June we can work something out. And then I just realized, whoa, you know, we were letting our minds take over what our hearts already knew, and we weren't in flow. All this stuff started happening, and we just said, screw it. Let's mark it, you know, a date in the sand, right? We said January 1st, we're moving to Costa Rica, and it was amazing because the head of school wrote back and he said, all right, well, let's see what we can do to make it happen. And it just so happened that same day or the next day, a family decided to relocate out of Costa Rica, and so there's opening at the school. And we were put right in, we were interviewed, the kids got in, and that flow came back.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, for me, the further I get away from my heart, I know that, you know, I start facing into a lot more resistance.
Yeah, and so for some of you, if you have a vision, and share below, like, what is your vision? What is it that you're here to create over this next year? Declare it, commit to it. I want to hear from you, because it's when we're willing to share and commit and actually just put it in writing. Because often what happens is we say we have this vision, but then if you're in resistance, if you're in indecisiveness, if you keep on questioning yourself, you're not going to bring it to you. And I mean, we've had friends that we've seen people where they have an idea and then it's like they take years to implement it and to bring it in. And it's cool when they finally step into it, but the thing is, it doesn't have to take that long. And so it's all perfect because we all have our own journey. And you could be on the 3-year track, the 5-year track, the 10-year track, or you could be on the accelerated track. And my energy, I'm kind of impatient. That's one thing, I'm still learning patience here. And I like to move fast. And I feel that, I feel the urgency of it. It's not just because, oh yeah, I want to accelerate making $1 million. It's not about that. It's about you stepping fully into your purpose in the world. You stepping fully into your purpose and stopping the mind chatter, stopping the distraction, letting go of all that stuff that is preventing you from doing the work you're here to do. And so if you're in a place of struggle, if you're in a place of, is this the right decision? Is it not? Is it the right decision? Is it not? You're leaking energy. And when you leak energy, you're not embodying all the light and love that you can be and sharing that with others. So it's just something, we want to share this so you can take an accounting, just like, am I doing this? Am I doing this right now? And then just see the habit, because we do it sometimes too. And then we correct it. And then Chuck says, too many of my clients block themselves by self-doubt and second guessing, and they let negative influence of other people prevent them from pursuing, see the rest of it, pursuing their goals. So true. And so Chuck lives here, and that's one of the things that I admire about so many of the residents here in Nasara and in Guiones, because it takes commitment to live here. At least as an expat, you have to figure it out. There's a huge level of commitment. You can't just like show up and think you're going to get a job. You have to like, well, what can I really offer of value to the world, and think and then step into creating that abundance. So there's so many people here that are, a lot of our friends in this community is very conscious and reflective in that way. So the key is remembering that you're designed to live in flow. And so often I'll have to show, oh my gosh, the waves are so, I wish you guys could see. I wish that Facebook, I make a request to make it so that she could like do a zoom in. Maybe they, oh my gosh, they do have a zoom in. I just learned something. They have a zoom in. So okay, you guys gotta see these waves. So they have these beautiful waves, and the waves here, they teach us so much about flow, because we fall, I tumble, slip, I don't get a wave, and then you just pay attention, and next one we step into. We're constantly getting feedback from the universe of what's working, what's not working, no judgment, no making up stories about herself, and saying, okay, well, therefore, you know, I'm a failure, I can't do this. We have so many, the thing is that, Chuck, you might relate to this, because his expertise is on computers. You are a very sophisticated biocomputer, and everything that you see in your life is a projection of the programs that you're running, the beliefs that you have, the emotional programs that you've had since childhood, the ancestral programs that you've inherited. So if you believe that life is hard and that it's going to take a lot of work to make it, then yes, so it is. And I believe, and it's not that we don't work, but I think the difference is that it doesn't feel like work. And I'm committed to following our highest excitement most of the time. And we have conversations. There's actually things like around, like in the tech world, that's not my highest excitement. And I feel like but it's always about finding that flow. And what happens is, when you release the limiting beliefs and the emotional blocks, when you change those programs, you get a different result. And so, Chuck, we probably have similarities in our line of work, because I often compare myself to a computer technician because that's what I do. I work with clients all over the world, and we focus on releasing those limiting beliefs and emotional blocks so that they get different results in their lives. And it's so much more than that. It's not just shifting your energy and releasing those blocks. That's why you see so many other healers that and people in the spiritual world, they're still broke. They're still not living the abundance. Even though they might talk about abundance all the time, they're not living in it. And it takes more in creating that vibration, stepping into it, and birthing it into physical reality. So if you want to know more about that, you can PM me and share below. I want to hear, for those of you that, if you are committed to living in flow, just type below flow. I want to see who's watching, who's committed. It's a journey. There's been times we haven't been in flow, and just like when we're surfing, it's just seeing the feedback and then committing and seeing, okay, what do I need to let go of? What belief is limiting me? Am I being indecisive? You know, do I need to practice more gratitude? Whatever that is. So sending you so much love. Type below flow. I want to hear from you. And if any of you are watching this and you're wanting to do a deep dive with us, we still have 2 spots at the Affluent Life Retreat here in Costa Rica.
Come play with us.
It's next month, deep dive, stepping into the best version of yourself, releasing the blocks and the limiting beliefs, deep breath work, surfing, and experiential activities where you really are able to see those patterns that are holding you back and then course correct them. So PM me if you're interested, and I'll share more with you. Send you all lots of love.
All right, take care.
Pura Vida.